Hi, welcome to Dishing It Up. I am Judy Ballou, and I am so excited for this week. Springfield has so many great chefs, and many of them have been on the show, and we love them all. But there is a lot of chatter around town about this new restaurant opened that's called Split Social Kitchen. So my guest today is Kristen Douglas, one of the co-owners of the Split Social Kitchen. So I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you. We're excited. We're going to make a Kevin Costner for you today. It is basically like a meatball sub meets a chimichanga.
Okay.
So we didn't want to do something basic. Everybody has a meatball sub, cheese, meatballs, red sauce.
Right.
Lots of delicious ones, but we wanted to do something a little bit different. What we're going to do is we'll put everything together for you, do the meatballs. It's got Provel cheese, ricotta cheese, mozzarella, Parmesan, actually something you can do at home.
Okay.
We do it in our house-made red sauce, but you could use any red sauce that you like. You can make it spicy, add a cheese that you like, really make it your own, something that's really fun for kids to eat. Adults love it.
Terrific.
It's been really popular dish for us.
And we're excited just that it's called Kevin Costner. I agree that I think that's great. We're going to take a short break. We're going to put a list of the ingredients up on the screen, and we'll be right back to get started. Welcome back to the show. We are ready to get started. Kristen has a helper today. Introduce your helper for us.
This is Kat. She is one of our kitchen team members. She is instrumental in everything that we do day to day. So she's here because she's way better at this than I am, and she makes it look fancy.
And you're about to be off maybe for a couple of weeks?
And I'm about to be off for a couple of weeks. So we have an amazing team at the restaurant. So it's nice. It's nice to have that going into this.
Let's talk about Kevin Costner.
He's beautiful.
I agree.
So we named this the Kevin Costner. I say we because I did, and my business partner Dylan would like it to be known that he had no part in naming a chimichanga Kevin Costner. It's because it's sexy and it's perfect, just like him. Hey, Kevin. The first part of the process is making our meatballs.
Alrighty.
You can use breakfast sausage, or you can use just ground pork and season it yourself. I like to use a mild breakfast sausage because it saves you a little bit of work. And then 3 ounces of ground beef, and that's in each burrito, or each chimichanga. So what you would do is, we pre-made these, obviously. There's 6 ounces of meat in each one of these. And you basically mix it together 50-50, season it, and then you can use breadcrumbs as a binding agent if you want to, or you can just do them just meat. That's what we did. And then you're going to sear them off on a flat top grill or in a skillet, and then we slow cook ours for about 2 hours in our house-made red sauce. Again, you can use an over-the-counter red sauce or something that you make at home.
I'm going to interrupt just a second. So these are basically just the 2 meats together?
It's just the 2 meats together. And then you're going to put that in the oven for about 2 hours and cook it in that sauce. And just remember, if you want them spicy, don't do it in the beginning, because the longer it cooks, the spicier it's going to get.
Okay.
So she's going to get that on some heat, warm it up in some water, and then the next step, after you've had them in the oven for about 2 hours, we pull them out, and then we take that sauce and add herbes de Provence, which is something you can buy anywhere, Walmart, wherever, and it's got a lavender flavor to it.
Is that liquid or spice, or what is that?
It's a dried spice.
A dried spice.
So it's multiple spices mixed together.
Okay.
But it gives it a kind of a floral flavor, which is hard to explain whenever you're thinking about it. It seems like, because when I first heard that, I didn't think I would want to try that at all, because flowers and red sauce, you know. So, but it has a really nice flavor to it. So then you're going to put that. Basically, once you've got that done, you've got the first steps completed. And then the next step would be,
Well, we're gonna warm these up. That takes a minute, so while we're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and warm up some of our bechamel that we drizzle over the top, and then I'm gonna add some red sauce to this after they're warmed up a little bit, and we'll use that also after we're done frying it.
So the bechamel,
Yes,
Tell me-
bechamel is
I
a
need your,
cream.
bechamel.
You're right, I need
No,
to-
you're good. The bechamel is a cream sauce, and how we make that is it's milk heavy, or whole milk, and heavy whipping cream. We put onions, garlic, butter, thyme, clove, several herbs. We put it all in there whole, so fresh herbs. And we slow cook that for about 2 to 3 hours. And then once that's done, you got to do it really low, or it will you'll scorch it.
Okay.
And then we strain it all out, so because you want to get all the skins and everything out from the onions.
right. And I haven't heard that term before. Is that a sauce that you've created, or is that something?
That is one of the
We can Google that and
mother
find the
sauces,
sauce.
as
Okay.
they would. It's amazing. You can
Okay.
use it. We actually use it as the base for our mac and cheese as well.
Oh.
So we incorporate it quite a bit. It's also in our crab dip. It's in our flatbread sauce.
Right.
We use it across the board.
Okay.
But it is something you can make at home, or you could just buy a jarred white sauce. Really depends on how much effort you want to put into it, or the skill level that you're working with.
Sure. Is this a sauce you told me has like 20 ingredients in it to start with? Or
That's
that
the
was-
pickling for
The pickling,
the
okay.
pickling for one of our
Got it.
other dishes.
Got it.
But yes, it's actually really easy to make. It sounds really complicated. You can find a ton of different bechamel recipes online.
All right.
So after we get that done, next thing, you're going to,
And I haven't seen the meatballs heated up this way. Is that something routine with
It's,
the water steam?
Well, yeah, we're steaming them to warm them back up so they don't dry out.
right, so you want to keep them moist. Like, this is something that you could do if you were cooking for people. You could cook the meatballs ahead of time.
Right.
Which is obviously what we do in a restaurant, because it would take 20 minutes to do this dish to order per
Sure.
person.
Sure.
But yeah, the bechamel is a super nice finishing sauce. It takes a little bit of the bite out of the red sauce. And we use, so when we do that to make this mac and cheese, on top of that, we add like Provel, mozzarella, Parmesan. You can add any cheese to it to really make a nice, like you can do an Alfredo with a bechamel base.
Oh.
So it's pretty versatile.
Okay.
You can do a lot with it.
That makes just to
It's
try
really
that.
nice to do like any creamy dips that you want to do. You can do a spinach artichoke dip with it.
Okay.
But
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't. Yes, I'm anxious to try that.
you'll really like it. It's
So
good.
I'm
Super
going to interrupt
flavorful.
just a second so people know where the restaurant is,
Okay.
because it is so new, the address.
It's 3027 East Sunshine. It was formerly Caesar's Old Mexico, because everybody knows
Everybody knows
Caesar's.
Caesar's. Okay.
They moved right down the street. They're still open, just so everybody knows. I have a lot of people come in and panic. They're like, where's
Where is it?
Caesar's? Just calm down, get back in your
Right.
car.
Right.
So it's been really nice. We've actually gotten some people that wouldn't have normally stopped in, but it's just right down the road. But we're just right across the street there from the O'Reillys
Right.
on East Sunshine. It used to be Big Easy Grill. We have
Right.
a pretty good,
That location is known.
some big
so-
shoes to fill.
Yeah.
So.
But with, do you take reservations, or is it walk-in?
We prefer if people call with a large party so we can get the table set up. We've tried to do walk-in only, but if you've got 6 or more people coming, we'll try to get some tables together and seat people away from that
Right.
so that it's not broken up, because people are trying to social distance right
Sure.
now and spread themselves out, which can be hard to get
Right.
bigger tables together.
If someone's not familiar with that space, it's a very small space to start with. So
It is.
Yeah, I would
It's an
encourage
open
you to make
kitchen, which is
plans.
really fun.
Yes.
And eventually, once we've made it through this, we'll have counter seating again, which is kind of cool because you can watch them right in front of you, prepare
Yes.
your meal. I'm excited about that, because
Very
that was
fun.
one of the reasons I wanted that spot, because I always thought, like, food seems so hard. Nice, you go out to eat and you're like, how do they do this? And
Right.
really, it's just a lot of great ingredients put together, like the bechamel, and so many things you can make ahead of time.
Right.
And then really show off for your friends.
That's awesome.
So, it's a lot, but it's pretty easy whenever you get it all
Good.
put together.
Good.
And that's kind of what we wanted to open a restaurant for, is to say, this is great food, but it's really not that hard.
Right,
So-
right. Good. All right, what's next after the sauce?
So after the sauces are warmed up, after the meatballs are done, and she added some Provel, mozzarella, and Parmesan. We went ahead and mixed it all together before we got here. Normally it's separate. but it thickens up because the bechamel is going to be really thin. And you don't want to add it beforehand because then when you cool it, it turns into like a paste.
Oh, okay.
Which is going to be, when you put it in your pan to warm back up, you're just going to have to constantly stir it. It turns into almost like a cheese itself.
And the red
So
sauce, is
then-
that something,
So-
I know you can buy red sauce. You said everybody can do a red sauce, but what makes yours a little different?
So we make ours from scratch. We take peeled whole tomatoes. Again, we do all the fresh herbs. We do all the herbs whole. That's something that a lot of people don't do at home, is you can put the skins from things in there. You just have to make sure you strain it out when
Okay.
you're all done. But there's so many oils and so much flavor that you can pull out of that. So it's kind of nice because we've customized it to be a base sauce. If you wanted to do it at home, I would suggest adding the herbs you like, because when we do it, we throw the sauce in with whatever to order,
Right.
and then throw the herbs in right then.
All
So
right.
some of the things are spicy. We use that in our mussel dish as a base. We use it but you can customize the sauce to be whatever it is that you want it to
Okay.
be.
Good.
So once this is all cheesed up, once the meatballs are all cooked, then we move on to building everything else. We actually make our ricotta cheese. We do some roasted garlic in it. We do some basil. Again, you can buy it over the counter, I say over the counter like
Right.
it's drugs. You can buy it from the grocery store like that, or you can roast garlic at home. You just take some garlic cloves, a little olive oil, a little salt, put them in the oven. As soon as they're finished, they'll just mash right up into a paste. You can do that with a spoon. You can do it in a blender. You can use an emulsion blender, whatever it is that you want, and just mix it in with your ricotta. You can do it with lasagna. It takes things to the next level, and people will really be impressed, your family, kids.
Right.
If you can impress kids with food, they would be impressed.
I think yours would be. I think it's a good time to take a break.
Awesome.
So we're going to take a short break. We'll come back and we'll build the Kevin Costner.
Perfect.
Okay? The Kevin Costner. Welcome back to the show. We are ready to build our Kevin Costner. So what's first?
So first of all, we're going to take our house-made ricotta and spread a little bit on the inside of a tortilla. You want to get a large tortilla, so a 12-inch is ideal.
And what makes your ricotta special, if you want to share your secrets?
Oh, we don't have any secrets. Shameless. So we make our own ricotta, which you can make at home. Again, very easy. You just have to follow the steps. You probably have everything in your kitchen to do it, but you can buy it. And then you can just add, we do fresh basil, we do garlic, and we do lime. You can do black lime, which is fermented.
Oh.
It adds a whole different thing, but it's a very careful process that you really need to know what you're doing.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can make yourself sick or have just really taste something terrible.
Okay, good to know.
So, right.
Black lime.
And then Provel cheese, which is just the best cheese on earth.
Agree.
Mozzarella and Parmesan. And again, we have pre-mixed it just to save space and all the steps. You're going to load that up on the bottom. Like Kat's doing. We're making 2 because there's hungry people here.
There are hungry
and
people.
it's delicious, and I don't want to see people fight today. Little bit of salt to taste. I like spicy food. I don't know. You don't like spicy.
Not
food.
extra,
It's
no.
not right. So we can do one a little bit spicy. We can do one a little not spicy.
Oh, bless you.
So you can have a little crushed red pepper in there. Really, whatever you want. A lot of people will spice the sauce. We don't because it is a restaurant and everybody has a different perception of spicy. I right now think everything is spicy because I'm pregnant and
Right.
nothing tastes right other than Kevin Costner ever. So then she's going to load, like I said, 6 ounces total. I like the meatballs. I guess you could put just the beef in there and the ground beef or whatever. Maybe a good leftover dish. But then she's going to roll it up. So be really careful because if you tear the tortilla, you're going to have to
done.
start over. Because once you put it into hot oil, it's just going to explode everywhere.
Okay.
So you just want to be really careful. Luckily, tortillas are cheap because we tear them all the time. So don't feel
Not
bad if
Kat.
it does. Well, Cat never makes mistakes,
Right.
but like normal people.
Sure.
We tear them all the time. So if you do, just start over. Toothpicks, you want to just make sure you've sealed it around the outside. Put as many in as you want, but make sure you know where they are and how many are in there. You don't want to find them
Great.
by taking
I
a
agree.
bite. So this is also how you would make a chimichanga if you ever want to make them at home. Like with your shredded beef or your cheese, like your asadero, whatever it is that you like to do.
Right.
But this is the exact same process. You get everything in there, you roll it up, make sure you don't have any tears, and then you're gonna seal it up. Same way with toothpicks. That's how all the restaurants around here do it. That you say, how do they do this?
Right.
It's
That's
toothpicks.
how they do it. Yes. Magic toothpicks.
Yeah, they're like Post-its. You
And
can
this
really-
item is on your menu at the restaurant.
It has, so this was a feature that we started doing, and it isn't on the menu yet. It's on the
Okay.
secret menu. By secret, I mean here it is, and it's on the internet. I post about it all the time. But it will be on our fall menu. So we are gonna continue prepping for it, ordering for it, making it, because we've had just a crazy response. It's been really, really popular.
And just your menu in general, give me a few examples of what all is on the menu.
So we have, basically what we did is we don't have a theme. We took some of our favorite things and we wanted to take ordinary ingredients and then make them next level. So we have a soft shell crab BLT that we have all the time. So BLT, amazing, on a potato bun with a whole soft shell fried crab on it.
Oh,
We tried to do every detail of every dish, give everything attention. So we don't just use mayonnaise, we use like a citrus mayonnaise that we make with yuzu instead of lemon.
Oh, gosh.
We do garlic aioli on our burgers. Our burgers are amazing. I would put it up against any burger in town, which is a very bold statement to make. We make our own cheese spread for it. Just every detail, everything down to our smack and cheese, like I said, is not just cheese, it's rigatoni tossed with the bechamel sauce, made to order every time. You're never getting it out of a dish and
Right.
put on a plate. And you can, and that's another thing we do is you can customize almost anything on our menu to fit your dietary needs. So we try to make everything so that anybody can come and eat there.
Oh, great.
So
Very, very accommodating for everyone.
we try to be.
Yeah.
That was kind of the nice thing about opening a small place, was being able to do for everyone.
Right. Right. Great. All right. Are we ready to fry?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. We're going to watch her.
So be really careful not to drop things into the fryer like this, because hot oil hurts, as you can assume.
Sure.
But we're gonna put both of these in there for about 3 minutes. Obviously, if you're frying more than one, you need to go a little bit longer because it will absorb some of the heat. Anytime you're frying multiple things, just add a little bit more time. It will turn golden brown and start to come up to the surface a little bit. These are a little more dense, so they probably won't as much, but you'll be able to tell when they're done. And luckily, everything inside of this is cooked. So,
Right. Right.
The oil's
Better.
at 350.
oh, and the oil is at 350. And I didn't mention that we cook the meatballs at 325 to 350 for 2 hours.
And
So
what's your preference on the type of oil that you use?
we use a soybean oil at the restaurant. That's pretty typical. That's good for most dietary needs. It's very clean. It has a clean flavor. We change our oil out every day to every other day to keep it. That's the main thing. Don't use old oil. Don't use dirty oil. If you have a deep fryer at home,
Right.
that like a lot of people have, make sure you're changing your oil because it will ruin everything when you get kind of that flavor.
Sure.
It does get an
Sure.
interesting.
Hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, and you can tell too when your oil's getting a little bit old because things will start to fry really dark.
Oh,
So keeping clean oil is a huge thing for us, and that's something that we really like to pay attention to.
right. Okay.
But then you're going to keep your red sauce hot, your bechamel hot. Once you've cooked it, you can just keep it on warm. This would start to thicken up if it started to cool, and all you would need to do is just turn it back on a little
Back
bit.
up.
And ours is still doing great.
It looks delicious.
But then we added a few herbs de Provence into this, and that is the same sauce again that we use to cook the meatballs. So you got all those juices, all those flavors, added it to taste. So it's kind of neat too, because if you were cooking for a couple different people, which is kind of what we, at home, you've got everybody's, they're a little picky.
Right.
Some people don't want red sauce, some people don't want, and it's kind of nice because you can customize it to each person.
Right.
So we can really do whatever it is that anybody would ask for.
Okay. While that's frying, tell me the restaurant's hours. When are you open?
We are open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to about 10 p.m. Our kitchen closes at 10, but it's a real-ish situation. We have people come in late all the time, and we cook for them. And as long as everything's still hot, we're happy to accommodate.
Okay.
Again,
And you have a brunch menu?
we have a brunch menu. We open on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. We do our regular menu and our brunch menu. We've got everything from a cinnamon roll French toast to a breakfast burrito that has ham, pork. It's got green peppers, onions. It's got everything. It's about this big, and
Right.
then we cover it with a pepper jack white American queso. So it's really nice. That's been our most popular dish. We make our biscuits from scratch. We try to do a small menu so that we can make everything in that tiny little place
Right.
to order.
Right. And looking at your menu, we also have some interesting drinks on the
We
menu.
do. We have a full bar. So we have over 20 beers. They change all the time depending on the seasons. Our menu, again, also changes depending on the season. So we'll have a new menu in October.
Okay.
It'll have our staple dishes on it, and then we'll add some heavier stuff, a little more pork, probably lighten a little bit up on the seafood as it becomes a little less available.
Right.
And then our drink menu is amazing. So we try to do everything original. We don't want to do, we want to take everything, again, like our food, and make it next
Right.
level. We do a smoked Manhattan, which is Manhattan to order. We smoke the whiskey. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes from the time you order it. So it's a little slower process, but definitely worth it, and it's been really popular.
So I'm basically going to have to come in about once a week to try all these things.
Everything, and then we'll change it on you so that you're stuck coming back
Back,
again.
that's right,
We're doing wine dinners on the first Monday of every month.
Oh.
We're closed on Mondays, so they're pre-sold. They're paired dinners. We do them they'll have 5 wines. This first one in October is Italian wine.
Oh.
So we'll have someone come in and educate everybody on all the wines and what they're drinking. You'll have a lot of it is on-premise only wine, which means that only restaurants can buy it.
Okay.
And what'll be really nice is you'll have the opportunity at the end of those meals to purchase that wine by the bottle or by the case to take
nice.
home. So it's kind of a perk. It's a pre-sold event, set menu, 25 people. But we'll be doing that starting in October, and then we'll do it the first Monday of every month after that.
Great.
So
How are we looking on these?
we do.
If we're good, we'll plate them, and if not, we can come back for that.
We
So-
do, normally in a commercial deep fryer, they take about 3
hotter.
minutes, but we obviously have a
Right.
tabletop situation. So, we can come back and
Okay.
pull those out when they're finished, and then we'll get them all plated up and taste them.
Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll plate these up. We'll be right back. And I'm back with Kristen from the Split Social Kitchen, ready to tear into the Kevin Costner because they look fabulous.
They are fabulous.
Tell me anything we need to know about when you plated them off camera.
So whenever we plated them, we pulled them out of the hot oil and then dab them off a little bit with a towel or a paper towel just to kind of get them cleaned off a little bit so there's not excess grease on the plate. And then red sauce on the bottom, cut it on a bias, stack it up so it's pretty, and then drizzle it with a little bit of that bechamel and some parsley or whatever fancy herbs you have in your refrigerator. And here you go.
And ta-da.
And ta-da.
And ta-da. Tell us one more time where the kitchen's located, the Facebook page.
We are on Facebook and on Instagram at Split Springfield. All you have to do is type that in. We show up, black logo, gold lettering, can't miss it. And we post specials every single day. We have a weekly special. Sometimes weekly specials become menu items. And we also have a website, splitspringfield.com. We're at 3027 East Sunshine, and our phone number is 417-755-7155.
Great. Thank you so much for
Of
being
course.
here today. If you'd like to know more about Metro Appliances and More, please go to our website at metroappliancesandmore.com to find the one of our 8 locations across the Midwest that might be closest to you if you're not in the Springfield area. And then go to mc22.net to find the listings of when this show and others will be airing on your local Mediacom channel. So I am so happy that you were here today. I can't wait to try this. I can't wait to go to the restaurant and try everything that you have. And thank you, Kat, who's hiding in the wings. This is where we get to taste. Are you going to
Perfect.
join me?
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm so because this has been on your Facebook page several times, and every time I've seen it, I've been like, oh, okay. Yes,
Oh, it's amazing.
I have to try that.
Just try to control your excitement.
And after you take your bite, I want to know more about how the name came about for your restaurant.
Oh. Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
Yep. That's delicious.
Uh-huh. I could hug you. Well, we can't.
Oh, we
because
can't. Air hug.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.